Welcome to 7 Warframes that need reworks in Warframe, but really it's 5 because 2 of them are already getting reworks. If you enjoy, don't forget to like and subscribe. And you know what? I'm going to pull out my slogan that I'm going to brute force into being my slogan of always remember, we're the best one compared to nothing. Let's just hop right into this. With our first Warframe that I personally think needs to be reworked, which you guys probably won't agree with, it's Loki. Let me explain. When I say rework, I'm not necessarily saying his entire kit needs to be stripped. His passive could be better. His invisibility should be his first ability. Decoy should be removed or made more useful. Switch teleport needs to be changed out somehow to do something. I think it should just be a teleport where you just teleport instead of switch teleporting. I think that would be a lot better, and you end up having just a teleport instead. And radial disarm is actually pretty good. I think they could end up making it a little bit better, but for the most part, radial disarm, pretty good ability. I actually don't have anything against it. It's just one of those things where I'm like, I feel like they could have a more unique for him instead of it just being radial disarm. I want your guys' opinion, honestly. Really, I want your opinion on all of my opinions here. I want to know whether you guys agree or whether you disagree, or whether you guys think, well, you're right, I agree, but here's what I would do personally. His passive could be something like Stalker's passive, where he gets extra crit chance and crit damage while invisible. I think that would work out pretty well. Or maybe only his melee has like 200% crit chance and crit damage, or something like that, while he's invisible, so he becomes like a melee stealth character. I don't know. Like I said, I want to hear your guys' opinion, and that is my first pick for a character that needs a rework just because he's kind of dated. And with that, we go to another very dated character. Limbo! That's right, he's our next one. Now, really, he doesn't need as much of a rework as he does a retweak, but I'll consider it a rework because in my opinion, his one is absolutely useless. His other abilities are fantastic. His passive, where he regens energy and kills him at Rift for getting energy. Stasis being a fantastic, crowd control. Rift Surge, having that Rift Torrent or whatever his augment is for it, where enemies take more damage, is fantastic. And Cataclysm being big AoE. So, what do I propose? That's a fantastic question. Fuck Banish. Get rid of it. Put Cataclysm as his 1. Hear me out. Just hear me out. But have it to where at rank 0, it's weaker, but at rank 3, it's as strong as normal, right? So it scales a little harder when it's ranking up, but it starts off weaker. Have it as his 1. Have Stasis as his 4, as it's one of the greatest crowd controls in the game. Keep Rift Surge where it is. Now, what is 2 be? That's a fantastic question. My idea for his 2 is something like a Void Cascade or Void Tear, right? Or Rift Cascade instead, I suppose, because he's a Void-themed character. What I propose is he has a AoE or something happens to the enemies when you kill them within the Rift, where they explode in damage, or almost like Rift Surge for, not Rift Surge, the Wisp ability, where she has the AoE where it shoots out the radiation wisps that attack. Something akin to that, right? But for Limbo, and it's more Void themed because that's kind of Limbo's whole thing, is being a Void themed Warframe. That's my general opinion. Fantastic Warframe overall. Unfortunately known as a troll frame, which is a shame. He's not even that much of a troll frame anymore. He's really good. If you haven't tried him, please give him a shot. Just don't be an asshole when you play Limbo. With that being said, this leads us to 2.5. I say that because, as I said at the beginning, 2 of these Warframes are already getting reworks, and this is one of them. She's getting reworked with 1999. Nyx. Really, I kind of like her kit. I'm not gonna lie here, right? I like her mind control and chaos deal. Psychic Bolt is good because it has that defense reduction and whatnot, and Absorb is AoE, but really, like, come on. Let's be enemies are 20% less accurate when targeting next. Come on. She's not a good Warframe. She's really not. She needs this rework that's coming for her. I don't have any suggestions. I'm not a Nyx main, right? I don't play Nyx often, but when she gets reworked, if it's a good rework, I'll end up playing her some more. But she's okay as she is right now, but she definitely needs some work. I think I like her psychic, mind control deal. I think Chaos should be a 4 personally, because it's, makes enemies attack each other and you get ignored. So me personally, I think it would be better for it to be a 4. And instead of it being like, oh yeah, enemies attack each other and you, Nyx does some psychic fucking stuff, brain mumbo jumbo, to where she appears as a friendly to all enemies, so she doesn't get attacked in general. I think that would be cool. Just saying. Like, I'm just saying. It would make Nyx pretty fucking cool. But with that being said, to our next character that needs a rework that everybody's going to hate me for. I know, and I don't really care. I don't like him. He's not fun. Granted, I could just put Revenant here because his ability is called Mesmer Skin, Mesmer Skin, Mesmer Skin. This isn't Revenant. This is Rhino. Now, for those of you who don't know, I actually don't like this Warframe very much. At all, actually. He's not up there in my favorite Warframes. But he is very dated. Rhino Stomp is... If you're playing Rhino, you're using Iron Skin, and you're using Roar. That's it. And you know I'm right. You can be mad at me, but you know I'm right. So really, you have Rhino who's... His Rhino charge is useless, let's be honest here. His Rhino Stomp is meh crowd control at the best. It's 3 seconds of crowd control at base, and I think it goes up to, 10 seconds, I think? Something like that. It's just not a very good ability. It doesn't have much range. It's just meh. Roar is fantastic, so is Iron Skin, but something's gotta be done about, Rhino Stomp and Rhino Charge. And it's a little disappointing that his 1 and 2 is called Rhino Stomp and Rhino Charge, but his, his Iron Skin isn't called the Rhino's Iron Skin, and his Roar isn't called the Rhino's Roar. I mean, come on. Be consistent here, DE. And then Amida Shockwave, dealing 100 damage after landing from a great height. 100 damage! You know how many things that'll kill? That'll kill maybe a Grenier's Big Toe. Maybe. But with that being said, let's get to, 3.5 being another Warframe getting a rework. Trinity. I remember a while ago, I made a post on the Warframe subreddit, and I'm like, hey, does anybody else think that Trinity needed a rework, or specific Warframes need reworks from older, the old game, because they just don't fit in anymore? And somebody got mad at me for saying Trinity needed a rework, saying, no, we shouldn't take away Trinity's invincibility, and I'm like, brother, well, I was right, first of all. Trinity's getting reworked. Again, I think she just needs better healing and just more efficient support abilities. Because Warframes like Wisp do it better. Frankly, Wisp made Trinity one of the most redundant Warframes to play in the game. Given the fact that Wisp is just so fucking good at playing support, it made Trinity redundant. But with that being said, to our next Warframe, Titania. Let me explain. Okay? Thank you. In my opinion, Titania is an okay Warframe with bad abilities, except for her Razor. Her Razor Wing's really her only good ability, in my opinion. Her passive is pretty good as well. It's like Octavia's. Yeah. No. It just isn't good. I'm gonna be real with you. Lantern's okay. Because, crowd control. But Razor Wing is really her only good ability, so I think one thing that they could do is go the Dante route, have Razor Wing as her main ability, and then have her other abilities bounce off of Razor Wing and like buff it in specific ways, right? Almost making it like her 4 could be almost like an innate Razor Wing Blitz, but it's duration based and you have infinite ammo, extra crit chance, all that jazz. So it buffs your, Razor Wing, right? Making her the fairy type Pokemon, right? Because really, I think Razor Wing is her identity. And Lantern. Lantern's actually good. I think they could have it to where Lantern gives out buffs when you use it while you're in Razor Wing, or something along those lines, right? And for the love of all that's holy, let her use shit while she's in Razor Wing. She is fucking useless. Alright? She can't pick things up, she can't interact with things, she can't do anything. I think it'd be funny if there was a animation where she's like holding a fucking battery with like both of her hands. She can't shoot because she's so small, so she has to use both of her hands to hold it up, and she flies like that. That'll work. But it's just, man, her entire identity is Razor Wing, and I think that's what could make her better, is if her abilities bounced off of Razor Wing, like Dante's Light, Dark, and then Final Verse, But with that being said, that leads us to the last Warframe, Frost, because he's not... Wait, no, he already got Rework. Yeah, no, Frost is fine. Whoops, that's not who was supposed to be shown. I'm gonna get hate for this one, and I'm aware of it. Just roll with me here. Speed is good. Shock is, dated, but so is Ember's 1, Excalibur's 1, Frost's 1. All of the Warframes within this era of Warframes, ones are pretty dated. All the elemental ones are pretty dated. Electric Shield is okay. Discharge is okay. The fuck is this passive, man? It caps out at 1,000 damage. You're gonna go hurt somewhere near his femur. Maybe, put a little chink in their armor. Maybe like tap their femur a little bit, with like a boop. You're gonna go take the hammer to their knee, see if they have that reflex in their knee. That's all you're gonna be doing. It's better than your toe. Like with Rhino, it's better than the toe, but like still not good. This charge I think could be a little better. It's really good for ESO. That's about it. Electric Shield is good because it blocks damage and it gives you extra damage, so I don't really have much against it. I just feel like it doesn't fit his character. Like, I get it, he's an electric character, Electric Shield. Cool, why not have an Ice Shield for Frost? Why not have a Fire Shield for Ember? Why not have a Sword Shield for Excalibur? Yeah, that one's dumb. But you guys get the point. It doesn't really fit his archetype, It almost feels like he doesn't have a place now that I'm thinking about it, because his 1 is crowd control and damage, his 2 is a buff, his 4 is crowd control and damage, and then his 3 is a shield that blocks damage and buffs. So I don't think he really has a normal place anymore. I feel like they just need to like fine-tune him. This isn't much of a rework. I think they just need to like get him in a place where he's comfortable, I think most of the old Warframes really, and when I say most of the old Warframes, I'm talking Ash, Banshee, Ember, Chroma, Excalibur. Frost could even use a small tweaking to his abilities. Hydroid already got reworked. Inaros already got reworked. Ivara could use a small tweak. Limbo, Loki, Necros could use a rework. Nyx is getting reworked. Nova could use some tweaks. Neza's fine. Mesa's fine. Oberon needs a fucking rework and a half. Revenant needs better abilities than just Mesmer Skin, Mesmer Skin, Mesmer Skin, Mesmer Skin. Rhino needs a rework. Saren could use a little bit of tweaking, but she's, for the most part, perfectly fine. Valkyr could use a rework. Trinity's getting reworked. Titania could use tweaking. Vauban's already gotten reworked. Wukong's already gotten a rework. Volt could use some tweaking. You know, all these Warframes are pretty dated, and they could use either some small tweaks or reworks, right? Like Frost, I absolutely love him to bits. Freeze is a useless fucking ability. I like Ice Wave because Ice Wave impedance is fantastic, and Avalanche and Snow Globe are fantastic, and his passive is fantastic now. I'm happy with it, but like his freeze could get changed out for something else, you know? I think it'd be cool if his Ice Wave was his freeze, his Snow Globe was his 2, his Avalanche was his 3, and then we had a Blizzard where it was, you know, constant cold damage that'll hurt enemies. I think that would be kind of cool. If that was how it was, dude, I would straight up just be using his normal kit, frankly. But with that being said, that's the end of this one. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and leave your opinions down in the comments below of Warframes that you think need reworked, or why you think I'm an absolute fucking idiot for the Warframes that I think needed reworks. Don't forget, I'm gonna say it again, best one compared to nothing. I'll see you guys in the next one. Don't you ever forget that. Deuces, boys. Have a good one.